GoToWhitney.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Whitney Ullman, and we are live in the Asbury studio with Far in the Maples. Regina Conroy and Reshy P are here. Say what's up to all your fans. So we're so excited to be here right now. You just launched a CD that's coming out today. Talk to us about the CD.
So, today is our release date for our album Skywork, and it is our first album as a band. So we're very excited, and we are just ready for people to hear what we have to put out in the world.
So what type of music is it?
We like to call it pop rock, but we've always been given from the people that have been working with us since we started this word organic, which I really like too. And that describes how we met, how we write, and how it sounds as well. So it's very from the ground up and comes from the heart.
That's really neat. And I know that you do have a really cool story of how you met. Who wants to talk about it?
Basically, I was looking for a band or, somebody to work with and write with. And Reshy was looking for a female singer. So we started talking via texting and phone calls, and then we met up about 2 weeks after that and started writing our first song the first time we met. So it was really cool.
It's pretty interesting because you have such a great connection and you didn't even know each other. But the cool thing is you're based out of New Jersey. You were looking for, a female singer. You were looking for somebody to partner with, to write with. So it's kind of cool how you connected. So I know that there are a lot of big artists that came out of Asbury. Do you think that gives you an advantage in the music scene?
I think so. Asbury's known for a good music scene. Asbury Park, where we are, is where Bruce and Bon Jovi have come from. So there's always been a music influence, and there's venues all over. So being from New Jersey, specifically from here, I think is good for us. But also, we have maybe an advantage because not a lot of bands that sound like us have come from here. So that might give us a kind of a distinction.
How did you guys come up with the name Far in the Maples? Like, where did that come from?
So we, for a while, were going back and forth on names, and we had good ideas, but maybe didn't land on one that we were both like, that's the one. And one day I was looking up Robert Frost poems because I just wanted to, and I found that line in a poem called A Boundless Moment. That was the first line of the stanza, and it really rang out to me in more ways than one, on an emotional level, on a visual level. So the next day I messaged her. I was like, what do you think of Fire in the Maples? And she loved it, and we both loved it. And after a few days, we were like, I think that's it. Yeah.
So how did you come up with the name Skywork?
Skywork is an even weirder story. So Brian, who owns Rebel Intelligence, who introduced us, he and I were speaking about the album art one day, and he said, this Skywork is really cool on one of the images that was sent back to us. And I actually had Skywork as an idea for the name of an album, but I never told him. So then I said, you didn't just say that, did you? And after that, I think I told her about it, and then she liked that as well. So it was almost like fate.
Wow, like talk about a coincidence. So you totally went along. Did you have any ideas? Like, did you want to have a different name? Like, what were some of your suggestions?
I honestly wasn't thinking about the album name until we actually were in the studio, and then it was more like, okay, do we get it from one of the songs? Like, is it going to be like a line of one of the songs or a certain theme? But we were kind of brainstorming ideas here and there in the studio, and we each have our own lists, but that one just really resonated with me because I am so about the stars and the moon and all that there. So I thought it was just a very cool name.
Reshy, I got to talk to you about this. Your parents wanted you to be a doctor. You're supposed to be in medical school. Now all of a sudden you're in the music industry. What are they thinking about you right now?
They are so disappointed. They're really supportive now, and basically from the beginning. I was gonna go to med school, like you said. I was studying pre-med, and I found that every day I would come back from class, instead of doing my work so much, I would be writing songs and jamming with friends and basically just playing music instead of what I was studying. So I realized that was my passion, and I told them right away. And at first, they were just a little bit worried that I wouldn't be able to support myself, or the typical parent worries. But now that they've heard the finished product and they've heard what we've written together and what Steve Greenwell's produced and what the whole team has crafted, they're totally on board. Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I have an older sister, yeah.
Is she in the medical field?
So that, yeah, even more was like, I guess it's you then. Yeah, but she's a writer, so we both took really different paths.
Now, what sets you guys apart from some, because you're young, I mean, you guys are in your early 20s. What sets you apart from some of the other artists in your same age category?
I mean, I would just say that we have like a lot more drive than some of the people I might know. I mean, I've worked with a lot of different musicians here and there since I've been writing, and you know, it's hard to get the ball rolling sometimes with people, especially with creative minds, so that can be a little more free thinking, for lack of a better phrase, I guess. But yeah, it's just been, I think it's just, we clicked and we kept moving and we keep going and we're on schedule and we keep on task with what we want and what our goals are.
I mean, 10 songs that are new that you had to write, that's a lot of work. Describe to us what your day is like.
During the days of writing, we were actually here in this room for the majority of writing our entire record. And we spent sometimes 3-4 days a week till late night, like after it closed. And there's a funny story that I'll let her share about. Yeah. About making a tent and all that stuff.
Okay, so we were in this room for like, I don't know, we'd come in here and write 3 days a week. And this was, you know, about a year and a half ago is when we were getting ready for our the studio. And so we got here and we were, you know, working all day, and then it was the end of the day and we were like, we just have to get this song done. Like we've been working on this one track and we were just ready to, you know, kind of wrap it up, but we wanted to like finish it, so we accomplished that of the day. And I get a little delirious when I'm in a room for like more than 5 hours straight. So we started making like this little tent out of these blankets that are on this couch right now. And like I started singing in there just to kind of get like a different space and separate myself from this, you know, the same recycled air of this room. And it was just like really goofy. But we have these moments where, you know, we kind of have to step back and say, we need some new inspiration, or we need to like take a break, or we need to do this goofy thing, go for a walk, something.
Okay. So you guys just launched your album today, and you have 10 hit tracks, which I know are all going to be hits, because if you see these guys and you know how hard they worked, you know they're all going to be hits. But talk to us about who inspires you, and are they the same people that you would love to open up for in a concert?
I think definitely they would be people I would want to open up for. We would want to open up for.
Who? Who are your favorite?
Owl City, Billy Talent, Echo Smith are some influences that I had personally in the writing process. So that would be super cool to open for any one of them.
How about you, Regina?
Okay, so I agree with Echo Smith. I actually saw them and they're just awesome, and like now they've suddenly become really cool and awesome, like big. So yeah, they're the cool kids, so I'd like to hang out with them. And also, I don't know, I always have like, I've always been very influenced by Young the Giant lately, and Imagine Dragons.
So what artists are you compared to?
Somebody that I've always been compared to were 10,000 Maniacs, like Natalie Merchant, and you know, just really loving her performance style and the way she the way she acts on stage is just really influential and amazing. And I think it would be cool to like meet her and maybe like do some sort of collaboration with her.
Okay, so let's talk about you for a moment. What are you really passionate about?
My first answer is sports after music. I'm a huge sports fan. I watch tennis, basketball, hockey, soccer, football. So I have teams in every sport, and a lot of my friends obviously watch one of those sports or more. So that's something that I always find I can talk to people about. If it's not music, I can always talk about sports.
How about you, Regina?
Right now, I've been really on a traveling kick, so I just really like to get in the car and go wherever I can. I think it just brings back to like getting inspiration for new projects. I love to paint and draw, so anything that can kind of put me in a new place in my mind to inspire the next thing is really somewhere I want to be.
What type of drawings do you do?
I do a lot of abstract drawings, lots of ink, just like black and white. I do lots of intricate little designs. I've been doing it forever. probably why I failed chemistry in high school, but that's okay. So yeah, it's something I've been doing for so long, and it just takes my mind off of any sort of stress or, anything else that's going on.
Is there a stage that you would love to perform on, no matter where it is in the world? Like, where would you love to be?
It comes to mind immediately for me is Bell Center in Montreal, which seems a little out of nowhere, but I went to school there, and that was the first place I saw Billy Talent Coming Up Again, who's my favorite band, biggest influence. So to play there, even open, or it doesn't matter how big the crowd is, I just want that experience.
So for me, where I would like to perform, the obvious would be Madison Square Garden, something really big and awesome. But also I love outdoor events. So I think, I actually visited California, and I would love to perform on Santa Monica Pier. I think it would just be really cool to perform on the beach, basically, and have that whole California vibe.
What about you? What's one of your guilty pleasures?
Mine's an easy answer. I'm a huge gamer, so a lot of people don't maybe get that right away, or I don't tell people, but I don't go to bed without playing some video games first every night. So
are these like the live games where you're competing against other people?
Not always. Okay. I just play, usually I play the popular games that have been released recently, but I play, adventure games, action games. I play with friends that I've made online. I'm not that nerdy, but...
Well, no. I know you guys just got back from England shooting a video for your track Hookline, which is on the new Skywork CD. Like, why did you shoot over in England? Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
So we shot in England because this studio is known for its motion graphics and its ability to create landscapes from nothing, basically, which was a strange experience for us because I personally, and I know she also, has never shot like that, or maybe a video. And
what do you mean? Give us a scenario of how it happened.
So we were given scenarios and landscapes and backgrounds in front of just a blue screen. So we had to use our imaginations to the fullest and act like we were in this world that didn't exist, right? So we had to pose and we had to react to things and have emotions to basically nothing, or like the studio itself, right? That's all you can see, but we have to pretend that we're in this world. So that was a kind of a strange experience, but I really enjoyed it because toward the end, you get good at it, and when you start, you really suck at it. So so you're stiff and you don't know if you're doing it right, but then you just, with practice.
So it was worth your time to go over to England.
Oh yeah, it was a great experience. I've never been across the pond, as they say, so it was just a really cool experience in general. And then shooting the video, it was my first time shooting a music video, so that was interesting. It was a little bit different at first, and you have to warm up, but it was really cool, and I really connect with the song Hookline especially. So
how do you connect with it?
I wrote that in one sitting, just feeling something, and I was actually sitting in the dark in my room, and I wrote these lyrics, and I connect to it because it's about a relationship that you're trying to save that maybe wasn't going in the right direction, but you're trying to save it, and maybe in your heart that it's kind of too late. But I think a lot of people can relate to some of those problems in relationships, and looking for a solution and anything to save one that you're really passionate about.
Right now in the music industry, one of the biggest things that's happening is the artists are not being paid for their music on some of those platform sites where you can buy music. What is your theory on that?
We're an artist, so we are in the camp that feels that you should be compensated for your work no matter what you do. Most other professions are. So I think that something needs to change in the sense that, especially with new artists coming up now like we are, it's more and more difficult with that being the way that it's structured. So I'm hoping there's some sort of change that allows us to receive maybe a larger percentage, or get better deals, or a big portion of the music industry now is moving to live performance as the major source of revenue now. So that's obviously something that we would love to do and are aiming to.
Do people locally here recognize you?
I have to say, no offense to Reshy. I've lived here for a while, so I definitely have, I'm recognized because I've been singing since I was 16 around here and just around this area of New Jersey. But now that, all this is happening and we've been promoting this CD and the music video coming out. I mean, social media does wonders. So we've been promoting that on social media, and now we're starting to get the hype up and the fan base up around this area, and I'm sure, that will expand soon.
Oh my God, everybody. As we're doing this interview, their whole album, Skywork, just went live on Spotify. You can find it there. How cool is that? That's so cool. Now that it's on Spotify, the next logical step is it's going to be on mainstream radio. How does that feel?
I mean, I can't even describe how cool it would be to hear our song on the radio, or for other people, family members, to hear it when they're driving or when they're listening to internet radio or whatever they might be. It's just a surreal feeling. And for Hookline to be the one that they're going to hear, it's kind of like our track that we always knew was going to be the one. And
so that was like the one out of the 10 that you're like, this is like slamming track. We love it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, wow. How do you feel being on mainstream radio soon?
I am so excited. I mean, that's an understatement. It's just really cool. It's going to be very awesome to hear our music, playing in the car or, on anybody, anywhere. And I swear if I hear it, I'm going to just roll down all my windows and blast it and just casually, slowly drive through the town.
I hear you're going to Colorado to meet with some music bigwigs. Talk to us about that. How excited are you?
I'm so excited. I mean, we're really just looking forward to meeting all these radio promoters and getting our name out there and just, making our faces known to them also, as well as our music. But, to meet somebody in person and, give them a handshake and be able to talk about yourself in a casual conversation, it's just a really great, extra advantage. Yeah, a bonus. Exactly.
How about you, going to Colorado? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, totally agree. I love the fact that we get to meet these executives and gatekeepers in person and hopefully show them that this record is worthy of them spinning it, playing it, adding it, and that, we're also down-to-earth young kids,
So now you have a music release party coming up August 14th right here in Asbury. So look, I know all you guys are local. You better be coming here to New Jersey to see them. Talk to us about this release party.
So the release party is going to be on August 14th at Asbury Park Yacht Club on the Asbury Park Boardwalk. So, we'll have lots of people in the area that night. It's going to be really fun, and it's just going to give us a chance to perform our stuff live and for everyone to hear what we're about and see, this is all it, this is
right in the beginning.
Yeah. So it's really going to be a really fun night, and everybody has to come out.